Hey guys, what is up? Welcome back to my channel. In today's video, I would like to share with you my weight loss story. I realize very often I share with you guys my before and after pictures, but the pictures don't really tell the story of everything that happens in the middle. That's what I wanted to share with you guys today. If you guys are new here, welcome. My name is Myra, and this is my weight loss story. I would like to start by giving you guys a little bit of context so you guys understand when and where my weight and body image issues began. I always was just a little bit bigger than my sibling, my cousins, just bigger than most kids in my age range. But as a little kid, it's not something that you really give much thought to. It's just like a fact. Like I didn't think anything of it. It wasn't until like middle school when I started to notice that I was significantly bigger than girls my age. And I think this is because that's the age when you start to take interest in like the opposite sex, but the opposite sex just was not interested in me whatsoever. It was fine, it wasn't a big deal, but then high school came around. And then that's when I started to notice that a lot of my friends were getting a lot of attention from boys, and I wasn't. I knew that I was bigger because I was bullied for it. I was very constantly reminded that I was bigger. During high school was when my eating habits got really bad. I originally didn't have a good foundation for eating in the first place. I was raised in a home with Hispanic parents. I grew up eating a very traditional Mexican diet. It's delicious, but it was not the best. There was not a day that Coke was not at the dinner table. I ate tortillas with every meal. I was never taught about portion control. When I was in high school, I would just snack all the time. I would snack in between classes, and I did notice that during lunchtime, my meals, like the amount of food that I was eating, was significantly bigger portions than what my friends were eating. It got to the point where my parents started noticing that my weight was just getting out of control, but they didn't really know how to address it. And during dinner time, they would constantly bring up my portions. You know, you're eating too much, your plate is too big, why are you getting seconds? When in reality, I was just eating the way that I grew up eating. I would watch my parents get seconds, so that's exactly what I would do. And I didn't understand why I was being singled out. And this really would hurt my feelings. I never really let my parents know that it hurt my feelings. I knew I was big, I just didn't know how to fix it. And I very specifically remember being around 15, 16, and I had this full-size mirror in my room. And after a day of binging and eating a bunch until I felt like I was about to just pop, I would strip down to my bra and my underwear, and I would just sit in front of that mirror and just wish that it would just all go away. And I would hold on to my stomach and just like ask, like, what did I do to get dealt this body? Like, I just didn't understand, and I just wished that it would just go away. Now that I'm older, I understand that I was in a deep state of depression, but I would never let my parents know that. And I honestly didn't even know it myself. I just knew that I was very sad and very unhappy. And whenever they would make those comments over dinner time, it was a constant affirmation of what I already knew and what I already thought of myself, that I was disgusting. The first thing that I want you guys to take from this part of the video is to not call people fat, because calling people fat doesn't make them want to lose weight. It only makes the self-loathing even worse. That's that. Let's take it back a little bit. After high school, my weight really started to take off. The biggest that I got was 215 pounds. Around this time I was 21. So I was drinking, I was smoking, I was eating a lot. I was eating a lot of nasty, like wings, burgers, and I was eating desserts for lunch. And then after my shift, I would have more desserts, or I was constantly filling up this 32-ounce cup of soda with either sweet tea or Coke or Sprite, you know, Dr. Pepper. And this just made my weight skyrocket. And then when I would go out to drink with my friends after drinking, you know, everybody wanted to go out and grab Chico's tacos. I'm from El Paso, Texas, so we would get Chico's tacos, or we would get Whataburger or some type of junk food. So my eating was just out of control. And then if you add the calories of drinking on top of that, and then I was a very heavy smoker, it was a domino effect, and it just got really, really bad. My breaking point was when I was dating this one guy, and I really liked him. I introduced him to my parents. My parents loved him. We went on trips together. We had a lot of fun together, and I honestly thought that this was the guy. He had this one ex-girlfriend who I knew about because I know that he was in a very long relationship with her, and it was very serious. But I didn't really mind it much until one day one of his friends posted a picture of him and I on Facebook, and she chimed in and she said, "Wow, what a whale." It hurt. It was hurtful. It's a hurtful thing to say, even if that is your ex. Like, you don't say something like that. Anyway, we kept dating for about another month, and then after that month he came over and let me down easy, but let me know that he was leaving me for his ex. And seeing as how everything had happened with her calling me, you know, a whale and all of that, it really hit me hard. I think because I was bigger and I honestly dealt with a lot of self-loathing and did not respect myself at all, I very often let myself be taken advantage of. But that breakup and the way that I felt really struck something in me. I told myself that I would never, ever be disrespected by anybody, including myself. That's when I decided that I had had enough. After that day, I don't even know how I did it. It was just a shift. It was a total shift in here and in here. And I just knew that I was gonna do it. At that moment, I knew that I was ready to change, and I craved to be somebody that I loved, and to be somebody that I knew was deserving of being loved. I didn't really know anything about dieting, so I just did what to me was basically like common sense healthy. So I just started by cutting out the 32-ounce sodas that I was having. I was notorious for having like big venti Starbucks frappuccinos, cookie crumble frappuccino with that chocolate drizzle, stuff like that. I cut out a lot of my carbs. I was meal prepping without even knowing that I was meal prepping. I would just, you know, make my chicken and my rice and my veggies and take that type of stuff to work. It really helped me make better choices when it came to my food. It just made it a lot easier. I did eventually learn to start calorie tracking. It's not something that I really do now. I don't believe you should do it all the time, but at the time I was new to all of it, so it was healthy for me to know where I was, so that it just helped me like stay on track. At this point, I do remember cutting out my friends for that period of time because I felt that it was selfish of me to ask everybody else to change their habits for me. I knew they still wanted to drink, they still wanted to party, you know, we were only 21. And weight wasn't their issue, it was mine. This was something that I felt I had to deal with on my own. I feel like I had a lot of, you know, it sounds cheesy, but a lot of self-searching to do. I didn't want to ask them to change their habits for me, but I also wanted to restrict the exposure that I had to drinking and late night eating and a lot of those habits that I just knew I had to cut out. I started drinking more water. I started exercising more. First like 2 months I was only running because I didn't really know much about the weights. Ooh, the universe has like some crazy way of working things out. My ex's ex-girlfriend that he left me for, she got a job at the gym, and this was after I had lost 50 pounds. And I know she knew who I was because I remember she was behind the counter and I was walking in and I went to scan my little Planet Fitness card, and she looked at me like she had seen death herself. She knew who I was. And in that moment, I felt so freaking good. I felt so freaking good. That was really nice. If you guys see a lot of my Instagram, I know I post a lot of me at the gym. Guys, what working out, what the gym has done for me has been amazing. It's honestly the therapy that I never knew that I needed. I'd never seen myself as an athletic person. Going to the gym and working out saved me from depression. I was so depressed, and I felt like a completely new person. If there's a few things I would like for you to take away from this. One, like I said, is to not call people fat, that you should love yourself and demand respect, because your size does not determine your worth. It doesn't matter what freaking size you are, it doesn't matter how much you weigh, that doesn't determine how much you're worth. I cut out a lot because I didn't want to make this video super long. I tried to just condense it into the most memorable parts of this. I'm 31 now. This was like 10 years ago, so it's been a long time. I honestly wish I would have known about YouTube. I must have been living under a rock or something. But I think it would have been really nice to like have a community or somebody to share this type of stuff with, so that I could connect with people that felt the same way that I did. In May of 2011, I was weighing 210 pounds, and by October 17th of 2011, I had already lost 55 pounds. So it took me 5 months to lose that much weight. And then from October to January, I lost some more weight. I ended up at 135 pounds. So I lost a total of 75 pounds. After I lost all of the weight, and even more weight than I ever even expected to lose, I felt like myself for the first time. I didn't feel trapped in my body anymore, and I had a brand new sense of self-respect and self-love that I had wanted for, I longed for that for a very, very long time. And I just really hope that my story inspires you. If this is something that you're going through right now, just know that you do have control. You can change everything, whether it's your weight or your job or, you know, a relationship that you're in. You have control. You have the power to change everything for yourself. Part of the reason why I really wanted to film this video is because I see in my YouTube analytics that a lot of my audience range between, most of you guys are women, and the age range starts at 15. Between one of the age ranges is 15 to 18, and if you're in that age range and you're looking for ways to lose weight, I know exactly how you felt. And I know what it feels like to be disrespected, to be bullied, and to be stuck or to feel trapped in your own body, to have your feelings, you know, be hurt by even your own family. And I just want you to know that you have full control. You can change everything, and it's gonna be okay. It's gonna be cool. Like, everything's gonna be fine. I wish I wouldn't have tortured myself so much when I was younger, and not worried about boys and not worried about all that crap. I do wish I would have focused more on my health earlier on in my life. So I think that's really important. But don't worry about boys. God, I dated so many scrubs, and I ended up with the hottest guy, hotter than I ever even imagined I would end up with. Yep, so it gets better, but that's it for this video, guys.